Hi everyone, this is Leroy here from Intune Instruments Dubai, UAE. What I have today on my workbench is this brand new Yamaha Rev Star electric guitar. The client gave me this guitar for a setup job. So I took it out straight out of the box. As you will notice, it still has the brand new tags of a new guitar. I took it out of the box and tuned it to concert pitch, and I was surprised with some of the measurements that I got. So I have a rule over here which is somewhat like a feeler gauge, and if I check the action height on the 12th fret, what I do get is 2.6 millimeters. Okay, so the 6th string 12th fret, I get 2.6 millimeters. In inches, it is 102 thousandths of an inch, extremely high. What we want is this action to be anywhere between 1.5 to 1.8 millimeters. Now, similarly, when I do check the action on the first string of the 12th fret, I get a string action height of 2.1 millimeters. That equates to 82 thousandths of an inch. Now, over here, what we want to get is an string action on the first string anywhere between 1 mm to 1.5 mm. The other thing what I did check was the amount of neck relief. And just placing a cap over here and pressing down at the neck to body junction, what I did find that I was getting, using a feeler gauge at the 7th fret, I was getting a neck relief of 22 thousandths of an inch. In other words, that equates to about 0.55 millimeters. That's extremely high, especially whether it's a new guitar or even a used guitar. That's going to put excessive amount of load on this neck. What we want is a neck relief of 6 thousandths of an inch. That equates to 0.15 millimeters. So as you will see that many a times, new guitars are not perfect. They need to be set up. And I get a lot of these questions all the time. I have a new guitar, does it really require setup? These mostly new players or beginners basically ask me this question. So here's a good example of a brand new, decently expensive guitar, and it needs a setup job. What I will next check is to see if there are any high spots on this neck, but I first need to get the lay of the neck straight as possible. So I've now got the lay of the neck as straight as possible, and what you will observe is there are several high spots on this guitar. So this has to be corrected in order to get the action as low as possible, to improve playability, to reduce or practically have no string buzzing, to have clean notes, to have perfect intonation along the lay of the neck, and for this guitar to also play in tune. Okay, what we want is basically practically very little relief of 6 thousandths of an inch. So let me show you the high spots on this brand new guitar. Here's one. So several high spots along the lay of the neck that need to be corrected. So unless this is corrected, I cannot set up this guitar for the action that the client wants. So this guitar is going to be playing much better from the day it left the factory once we've corrected all these high spots. Now the client wanted his string action height measurements for this guitar way much below the standard action height recommendations. And with this, you are then in the danger zone of string buzz, even though the frets have been leveled. So with the neck relief of just under 6 thousandths of an inch at the 7th fret, here's what we ended up with. On the 6th string of the 12th fret, the string action height was 0.55 to 0.6 millimeter, or around 21 thousandths of an inch. That works out to around 1/64 of an inch if you're measuring using a 1/64 inch scale. On the first string of the 12th fret, the string action height was 0.5 millimeter, or around 20 thousandths of an inch. That works out to just under 1/64 of an inch. So now that we have re-leveled, re-crowned and re-polished all the frets on the guitar and got the action height as low as possible, much lower than the standard recommendations, let's check this guitar to see if there's any buzzing. So I'll play at different positions along the lay of the neck. just scales and see if there's any buzzing. So let's say check some chords. Now let's check the intonation. So I'll play the A chord at different positions along the lay of the neck. So that's how we do the guitar setup work here at Intune Instruments, whether it be a new or an old guitar. So if any of you have any questions or queries, please do get in touch with me, Leroy, at Intune Instruments. Or if you'd like us to work on your guitar, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thanks for watching and goodbye.